It's absolutely beautiful. There is a tradition where, and this just goes to prove that we can't judge people at the time of their death with regards to their appearance, because at the time of the death, one thing you should remember is that a person came to the Prophet and said to him, Ya Rasulullah, يَمُوتُ الْمُؤْمِنُ مُكْرَهًا. When a faithful mu'min dies, will that happen forcefully against their will? The Prophet said, Hayhat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He's about to take back the soul of a good servant of His, He sends Jibra'il, Allahu Akbar, the archangel of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descends. Jibra'il, Isra'il, and some of the other main angels, as well as, and of course, who's above the Holy Prophet of Islam. He comes along with Ali ibn Abi Talib, Fatima Zahra, Al-Hasan, Al-Hussein. They all come to welcome him to the heavens, to welcome him to the blissful bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then when they come, first of all, the Prophet says to Israel, هَذَا مِمَّنْ وَالَى وَلِيِّ عَلِيِّ ibn Abi Talib. This man, oh Israel, I want to give you some warning, a word of warning. This man is one who followed and obeyed and followed the lead of Ali ibn Abi Talib. So you go easy on him, right? And so Israel says, Sam'an wa ta'atan ya Rasulullah. Of course I shall do that. And then the tradition says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will have the Prophet take this man's hand and lift him up to an area, wherever that may be, another dimension, another universe, I don't know, where he gets to take a look at the bounties that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prepared for him. The Prophet will say to him, this is your place and these are your friends. Would you like to stay or do you wish to go back? So he then says, La ya Rasulullah, I would like to stay with you and I would like to enter heaven. Then the Prophet says, don't you see when a mu'min is about to die, they lift their eyebrows like so? That's just them saying, Ya Rasulullah, I don't want to go back. I want to stay right here with you. And then another man says to the Prophet, he says to him, Ya Rasulullah, sometimes we see the mu'mineen shaking and shivering as if they're going through pain at the time of death. And we see the non-believers dying such a peaceful death, it's unbelievable. How does that happen? And we're not generalizing, but this is a teaching from the Prophet. The Prophet says they're going through, you see them shivering and shaking and looking uneasy, because when Azrael comes, he tries to extract their soul step by step and not do it all at once. So he grabs the soul, pulls it out, then lets it back in and pulls it out and lets it back in, easing its way out of this person's body. Whereas a non-believer in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you see them dying in a peaceful manner because they have been clamped to the floor so that they don't move. Because if they had the ability to move, and if they weren't being held by the angel of death, then you would see their bodies hitting the ceiling. But the faithful ones, Allahu Akbar, they're asked, would you like to come or would you like to stay? These are your family members, this is your house, this is this pitiful world. Would you like to stay here or would you rather join us? SubhanAllah.